The highly anticipated matchup of Doc Rivers against his former players Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett when the Clippers hosted the Brooklyn Nets Saturday, well, it didn't happen. Pierce and Garnett, along with Darren Williams and Brook Lopez, were out for Saturday's matchup, but the Clippers still had to fight this one out. They came away with the 110-103 victory, though, keeping their unblemished record at home.
But I talked to him. I mean, I know when Kevin doesn't play, he never comes to the game. Paul either, for that matter. That was something we set up in Boston, and so now the Brooklyn Nets have to deal with it. So I thought that was actually funny, that part of it. But I talked to him, and it still would have been nice to play against him. I was not looking forward to it, but looking forward to it, if you know what I mean. The only guy I could trash talk out there was Jason Terry, and that was no fun.
Regardless of who the other team suits up, they're NBA players. Everybody has something to prove. Everybody's got a chip on their shoulder. I don't think anybody on our team thought this was going to be an easy game. We knew it was going to be a battle. They got guys on their team that can play.
You know what? It was something we talked about. I heard 3 or 4 different guys talking about it in the locker room before Doc came in and started his pregame speech. And then we talked about it in the pregame speech, and we talked about it on the court. So I can't really say that this was one of those things where it kind of took us by surprise. It didn't. I know I was well aware, and everybody else was well aware that it's kind of a trap. But we just didn't do it. But obviously we'll take the win, but we got to be better, especially in games like this where not putting those guys down at all. But we had all of our starters, and they didn't.
How much of a mental challenge was this game tonight?
It was a big mental challenge, and Doc talked about it. It's a professional. We had to come out and be professionals, and really approach the game like it was just a regular game. And it doesn't matter who they're starting or who they're not starting, but you got to give those guys credit. They played hard and they played well. They made it tough.
I'll call it a win. Now, at the end of the day, sometimes you can play perfect ball and be down and win, and sometimes you can play not so perfect. And tonight was one of those nights. We obviously didn't play great, but I was really happy that our guys hung in there because I thought the basketball guys, they start banking threes and stuff like that, and you mess around. I talk in those terms to our guys. You mess around with the basketball guys long enough, he'll come back and hurt you. And it looked like that was happening for a while. Even in the second half, we tried to play with more energy, and then we start missing wide open shots because you start pressing a little bit. But I thought we gathered our composure, and that was nice.
The Clippers return to Staples Center Monday night when they host the Memphis Grizzlies in what's set to be the Clippers' 100th consecutive sellout here at Staples Center. For LACtv, I'm Madelyn Burke.